What's up, guys? It's Jinx out here in Austin, Texas for the final day of South by Southwest. We've been out here a few days, and every South by Southwest, we like to look around and figure out who we're going to crown king, who came down here to the festival and came out victorious. This year it's two, Chicago's Valee and Florida's Wifisfuneral. Each of them no longer industry rookies, they're both South by Southwest veterans. So we asked them, with a bigger career, more music, and more fans, what it's like taking the street and taking the stages here in Austin, Texas. South by is like a marathon, you know what I mean? You start at one spot and you got to make it all the way to the end. How you feeling about this year's South by Southwest?
I mean, I'm going to be real with you. I feel like the events as a whole, way different, you know what I mean? I feel like they had way better like culture and like more emphasis in the actual like event of South by Southwest, like 2012, 2011. But one thing that I will say is that the talent this year is crazy. It's a lot of like emerging artists that actually like have a chance. Like I haven't really heard a one-hit wonder yet perform at any of these events, to be honest.
You know what that makes me think? A lot of it too is like guys like you can say you've been here, right? So like you can remember those first South by Southwest trips, and it's different now. You know what I mean? It's harder to walk down the street. People know the lyrics.
Yeah.
Can you think back to that first one and how you felt? Did you feel like it was like a big proving moment, like a testing ground?
I mean, of course. I feel like for any emerging artist that feels as if, like, you know what I mean, they need to do something to get from point A to B in their career, then yeah, of course, South by Southwest is the #1 things you want to perform at. Like, you know what I mean? It's like everybody's here, everybody's gonna look at you, so it's like, why not want to come here and perform?
I always feel like festivals are a little bit difficult for artists because you're performing in front of people that may not necessarily know your music.
Right.
You know, they may be new to you and they're just sitting in the crowd and they want to be exposed. Is there anything different that you have to bring to a festival crowd as opposed to a Valee show?
Just a little bit more energy than usual because everybody's so turned, and you know, you got so many good artists coming on the stage, and you know, so you want to make sure you match the energy or bring your own unique energy. So.
Well, dude, you're one of those guys that we saw come through South by. I feel like in a lot of ways you graduated out, right? Like you're not with the new guys. You're up here with the veterans, right? Like you know what you want to do. You know how to stand on stage.
Yeah.
Like look at you in the Mass Appeal lineup. You know how to kind of like fill your space
100%,
out.
100%.
For the new guys.
100%.
What's the tip you give them?
Don't listen to anybody. Listen to the people around you that actually like are gonna give you intent to elevate you. The moment that you feel like you're talking to somebody in your circle about your career and you do not feel like that person is elevating you, don't listen to them.
And you're working directly with Pusha, man. He's the label president as well as an artist. So he's sort of like a player coach, you know what I mean? He's on the court, but he's also in the box.
Exactly.
What type of advice or what have you picked up from him just in the short time knowing him?
Just, you know, he is genuine and humble, you know, and, you know, he did give advice about, you know, working hard and keeping things going, keeping the momentum going at all times.
You made a comment about everybody doing one thing, and you have to find a way to reinvent this thing, right? You have to find a way to like take it apart and put it back together. So whether it's the way you put your lyrics or the beats you attack, what are you looking for going forward? Is it like different kind of beats? Is it a certain production that you want to work with? Is it a certain artist that you're thinking about working with? Or do you just want to do something different?
Just a big variety of dope music, really. I'm sure that'll come with like a lot of cool stuff, but a lot of people I want to work with.
Can you let one out the bag? Who's on that list?
I mean, with like a 2 Chainz and Sade, I keep it weird like that.
You just dropped 25 lighters. Now, first off, you dropped, it's a Texas hook. We're in Texas.
Yeah. You
bounce through different lyrical forms throughout it, you know what I mean?
100%.
And you keep the song like just long enough to kind of get in and get out.
Yeah, you know, I'm a real big fan of like keeping songs no longer than 4 minutes, honestly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to give a first and a second verse. Sometimes I feel like that's not the case for some songs, but with 25 lighters and especially this project that I'm working on, Ethernet.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I really wanted to test myself and say, can I give people full songs that they could actually appreciate?
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest challenge throughout this whole tape is like giving people perfect, compact songs that they can actually appreciate as opposed to, all right, I just snapped on this.
What can fans expect from Ethernet?
Really? Everything's different. If you really listen to Ethernet, one spoiler that I will get, that I will give away, if you really sit down and listen from Ethernet from start to finish as far as intro to outro, you really get to sit down in my mind and see where I'm at currently in my life right now, which I've always had a problem doing that. I could give people pieces and bits of information of like what I'm going through right now. You know what I mean? Boy Will Cry Wolf, I did that. When Hell Falls, I did that. Freaking Black Heart Revenge, I did that. But this is the first project that I'm like, yo, people could really sit here in my mind the whole project.
And understand who you are as a person.
Yeah, honestly. I feel like I got a big chip on my shoulders.
I dig it. Well, dude, we're not going to take up any more of your time. We know you got to get in there and touch
man.
the
I
stage,
love doing interviews with y'all, man.
It's always good speaking with you, man.
Likewise, bro.